Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with my next movie review. And that is going to be for the sequel to the film I recently just reviewed. And that is, of course, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. So, yeah. So, for those of you that obviously know, I absolutely. Now, with Rob Zombie's first Halloween film, I thought it was just alright, really. It was a weaker film compared to the original. It's actually, I mean to say this time, actually a reimagining of the original. In my review, I called it a remake, but then I realized it was actually a reimagining of the film. So, technically, the first reimagining film of the Rob Zombie version of this franchise, I found just an okay movie. It wasn't really perfect, but wasn't really good either, but it was just an okay movie. But of course, we all know it did make a surprising amount of 80 million worldwide at the box office, and at the time was the highest grossing film in the series before 2018's movie came out. And so, the Weinstein brothers forced Rob Zombie to come back and do another one. And I gotta tell you this. This one is less rehashed. It is a little more original than the actual version of Halloween 2. They're the later half, but it's definitely not better than the previous installment. I'll get to why it's not, but here's what this version of Halloween 2 is about. Summary. Well, 1 year after the events of the previous film, Laurie Strode struggles to deal with its aftermath, while Dr. Loomis is trying to capitalize on those events by publishing a new book that chronicles everything that happened. It actually makes him a very hateable asshole in this film, and I'm going to get to why later. Meanwhile, Michael prepares for another reunion with his sister. Michael, okay, first of all, the real Michael we know is not even in this film. Yeah, this is the first bad quality of the film. Michael Myers' new design in this movie sucks. The poster here, he looks like his actual self in this cover, and he does look like that in the first half of the movie, as soon as the rest of the film plays, he's basically this obese, filthy hobo most of the movie, and his mask is so shitty, you can literally see his entire face, which makes him less mysterious looking. But, in spite of all this, I'm going to say the good stuff first. Well, what I do like, the plot is unique and creative, and I could tell they actually tried to do something a little different and not just copy the 1981 sequel. Well, the first half does copy the 1981 sequel, but the rest tries to go a little more original, which I will give a little credit. At least they did try to do that with this one. And while Michael Myers has a horrible appearance, at least he's still evil and homicidal, unlike Halloween Ressurection, where he's a big bloody wimp most of the time, which is still the worst Halloween movie, and this one is still way better than that movie. I will definitely give it that. Okay. And Brad Dourif, Danielle Harris, Sherman Zombie, and Tyler Mane still all give good performances. And the soundtrack is also decent. Some parts are pretty close to the original. The murder scenes are still brutal, memorable, at least. Well, some of them are good, some of them I don't like. This review, by the way, is for the theatrical cut, which I will be mentioning the more redeeming qualities of the theatrical cut after I get to the bad qualities, because I'm going to be mentioning the bad qualities next. Guys, so brace yourselves. And if you do like this movie, that's fine. I respect your opinion on this movie. I'm not gonna bash anyone for liking it. I'm fine if people like this movie or hate this movie. Doesn't really matter. And again, not all of us are gonna have the same opinions. C. Ooh. First, I will mention for bad qualities. Dr. Loomis. Remember that confident psychiatrist he was in all the other movies? At least most of the time. Especially the previous installment in the Rob Zombie version. Here, he's just an unlikable, greedy jackass who cares more about money and fame and trying to exploit a bunch of murders in his new book. So yeah. Like, and me watching this film was like, it's not Dr. Loomis. What happened to the real Loomis? Whatever, well, the hospital dream sequence goes on for a bit too long, and thankfully this is the only. And again, it's only the beginning of the movie, and at least in that version, Michael does look like his actual self, and there are a few plot holes, like how Dr. Loomis in the first one said that Michael hasn't said a word as his mother died, but the clip shows that when Dr. Loomis told young Michael the bad news, he was clearly speaking. The misleading poster, like I've already mentioned, a misleading DVD cover. It shows Michael in his iconic signature clothes, but in most of the movie, he's in his horrendous new design, and his signature design is only seen at the beginning of the film in Laurie's nightmare. Oh yeah. Basically, now I get what they were going because this whole movie's trying to show what Michael's effect had on Laurie resulted for her, but how they drag on with all these dreams, random dreams showing up out of nowhere, starts to get really excessive all the time, and it starts to get really annoying quick. And much like Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, they tried way too hard to humanize Michael and solve the mystery of how he suddenly became evil. The overuse of long shots of Michael's face being shown in daylight, and a few of the shots. Oh yeah. And there is also one problem. This movie, a lot of the shots, you can't see shit. No, like, there's quite a few shots where it's so dark, I mean, you really can't even see. Okay, the shots aren't as dark as AVP Requiem, those are way worse shots, but they're at least somewhat better lit than that movie, but you can hardly still see much. I have not seen the director's cut, but I have seen clips from the director's cut, and it's worse than this version. And there are so many awful points in it. One, director's cut ruins the character of Laurie, 14 minutes too long than the theatrical cut, with scenes of Laurie just being annoying, and it's nearly 2 hours long. First off, Laurie Strode's character has been completely flanderized in this film. She goes from that intelligent, selfless teenage girl in the first movie to this whiny, rebellious, energy punk girl who just says, fuck. It just swears way too much. Basically says the F word in almost every single line. Just almost every single line. Her personality also has gone very flat and one-dimensional. She likes to do nothing but party and drink beer with her work friends. Dr. Loomis, was still an unlikable asshole in the theatrical cut. He's worse in the director's cut, with more uncomfortable moments. And other characters like Big Loomis are so annoying and unlikable with extra dialogue added in. And there was a scene where Laurie talks to the therapist around random mental breakdown she had when petting a pig. In the theatrical cut, it's a normal, kind-hearted scene. And it even ruins the ending, like in the theatrical cut. Loomis is brutally killed, and Laurie stabs and kills Michael. She lives, she's just kind of committed to asylum, but here's the thing. Rob actually confirmed it was her dying thoughts, because in the director's cut, he still kind of goes on normal. He still kills Dr. Loomis in the director's cut, but before he finishes killing him, Michael takes off his mask, yells, "Die!" and just stabs him, and then he gets shot down by the police. Instead kills Loomis with one boring stab, gets shot by the police. Then Laurie picks up the knife and mask. Well, actually, I do like, since Laurie in this version does annoy me a lot, I actually did like this part. after she picks up the knife, the cops finally shoot her. And honestly, that was probably the best part of the director's cut. I wish they did keep this in theatrical cuts. Because now that would have been a relieful ending if they kept it. Not the taking off mask, I mean, the cops finally shooting this version of Laurie Strode. How? And what else? And I think the other good quality is that at least it does what and this would just show Michael's effect on Laurie, but for other bad qualities, definitely, there's this, we get this first unneeded scene of these two paramedics making some very necrophiliac-esque comments, and we get this pointless, and now, well, we all did know that Michael would did this in the original Rob Zombie film. They show him, okay, basically first he kills these 3 no-life hillbillies, then goes to their pet dog, rubs its knife on a cage, and then we saw that he murdered the dog, and then cut it open and eats its insides. Now we get he obviously did that in the original film, but did we really need, any of us needed to see that? Honestly, I don't even care much. That's just really, yeah, I agree with anyone who hates that. That's really gross. Now, yeah, so in short, I personally hated this movie. Now, I found the original Rob Zombie reimagining film okay. It wasn't great, but at least I knew it was trying to be a Halloween movie. This movie, you're probably going to hate me for saying this, guys, sucks. Yeah, I agree with Horror Metal. This film is trash. It's but then again, this wasn't Rob Zombie's fault. This was the Weinstein Company's fault, because I could tell Rob Zombie didn't even want to make this, especially when he made that director's cut ending, because he clearly didn't even want to visit this anymore. And even after this, they tried getting him to come back for a third one, but he was like, "No, I'm done. This is a waste of time for me to do. I am so finished with these remakes." Can't blame him there. So, yeah, that was my review for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And here's how I would rank it. I am going to give Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 a 4 out of 10. Well, that wraps up my review for all the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. I did have fun making these reviews. So guys, this year, I am trying to re-follow on all the other Halloween movies, knowing that Halloween Kills, for now, is coming out this year. For now. Unless Universal changes their minds again. Which I really hope they don't, because Halloween's not even a major blockbuster franchise. Delay something like Fast 9, which I really don't care about. I can see they would be delaying that because that is a major big budgeted summer blockbuster movie, but please do not delay Halloween Kills. Or Candyman, please. Those are low budget films. They're not big budget summer blockbusters. They're just low budget horror films, but we'll see what happens. I mean, it's their decision. All, that'll be it for this review, guys. Thank y'all for watching. And if you like this and want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Lover 120.